We'll see how this patch goes. We're going to use some 20 gauge steel sock that I had in. It's about 35 thousandths thick. Not very thick at all. But it should be easy enough to form and hopefully copy what we need to replace that steel.
So what's your plan with that?
This is the original panel that we cut out, and thankfully it's holding together nice enough that we can keep the bend profile. So we're going to try and match this 20 gauge steel sheet we cut to that profile. I think we went the wrong way.
Really?
No. Just keep going. Sorry. Test fit. Heck yeah.
That's pretty close.
Just run it like that.
Wow.
No, it's stuck in there.
Cool.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel now.
Okay.
Getting closer. Please don't break. Lucky day. Sand belts do not do well with
Undercoating.
undercoating. Yo. Is it past your bedtime? I think the inside's pretty well clean now. That's a battery tray. Ready to start welding.
All right, Autumn, what are we doing tonight at 11 o'clock?
There's a huge hole in my car. And it wasn't supposed to be that big. We did surgery on the Z and thought we were just gonna get away with cutting this panel. And then I went to go clean up this firewall and the wire wheel went straight through the firewall. So tonight I'm gonna try, we have one panel formed for the fender and I'm gonna work on getting a panel formed for the firewall and hopefully we'll try patching. So we'll see. It looks really bad right now. Darn. Well, that escalated quickly. I just cut out more of the firewall. That wasn't the plan, and I was very upset when we came to this decision to cut out more, but they put these cool dimples in the firewall, and we were gonna try and save 2 of them and make them look okay. No, we aren't gonna be able to do that while it's in the car. So we cut them completely out. I hate seeing it like this. We are actually cut almost to as high as we can to get those dimples out. We have maybe an inch up here. That's a lot of firewall. Don't like it. And instead of leaving it with nothing, we are gonna try to recreate some ribs. So grab some measurements for Nick. All right, let's see what we can do.
So this is Autumn's patch panel for the firewall, and we want to add a couple ribs to it to make it a little more rigid. So I drew up these pieces and had my brother 3D print them. What they are just a couple little dimple rib guys, This one's just a guide for this piece, and then this one has the opposite shape to it, and then I put magnets in them so they stay where you line them up. So this one will just drop in here, and then we can take it over to the press and hopefully make a rib.
That is so cool. I am the luckiest girl.
Let's go try it.
Oh, this is so exciting. Oh man. Look at that. How cool is that? That's a rib.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Pretty clean.
You're the best. Wait, isn't that backwards?
Hmm?
Isn't that backwards?
No.
Does not want to go.
Definitely has a little bit of a twist. It might be okay if.
It might straighten when we put it into welds.
Yeah.
Wiggle, wiggle, yeah. Stop that. First weld. Ish.
No, like burning.
Woo. What? Is it on fire? What?
I want to spray down in here. It was on fire.
It was on fire? Is it still on fire?
I think I blew it out. I'll get a spray bottle and spray it.
First sack, you're off to a good start.
Yeah, but if you spray it down, it'll be okay.
Alright, so we got the patch panel tacked in. And these little body clamps were very handy, the sheet metal clamps.
I'm afraid.
Harbor Freight. And Nick's my fire watch in there. Hi, Nick. There was some insulation fires and sealant fires. Well, they're up. Bodywork welding sucks. But it's done. Wow. So these welds are not pretty and it's driving me nuts. Grind it down and see how it looks. I have a firewall again. One hole down, one more to go. says, Mom, stop grinding. It's so noisy. I can't sleep. I can't sleep when you're grinding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is it past your bedtime? Yes. I promise. Almost done. Okay. I'm inside of the fender right now, working on getting the last of that battery tray patch done, which is just going to be the spot welds on that bottom flange. I'll show you what's going on here. So I drilled holes for some spot welds here. So I have 4 along that to kind of bring down the center of this flange. We decided not to do full welds along the edge. It was kind of overkill for what this is. It's not super structural. We're already welded all the way around the patch. So we're just gonna do the spot welds to hold the edge down. These are holding down the most of it. And then do some seam seal to keep the water out and some undercoating. So I'm getting closer. To be quite honest, I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know how to follow directions. So if there are experts that are watching this and you want to critique or correct anybody else that's watching this and say, no, that's not how you do it, Autumn, you messed up, feel free to leave it in the comments. We would appreciate that. But for now, there's steel and my battery is not going to fall out. So I'm going to call that a win. Not quite done yet. Probably going to do another layer here, but it's looking better. Okay, so I thought I'd clear up one thing. I know maybe in the Bondo video when we were applying, it may have looked like a lot of Bondo, and you're like, oh my God, what is she doing? She's not patching, she's Bondoing. This is all that's left, and I still have some more to work through. I put it on really thick and let it cure, and then as you sand it down, that's where you find, you know, your level to kind of level out the surface. So as you can see here, it just kind of hit some of the low spots. That's where it settled in. I'm still going to go over. Somehow I missed the entire weld, or some of the welds. So I'm going to go back over that spot one more time. This filled in really nicely. I'm happy with that. I still have to get into the edges where the DA sander wouldn't get. But overall, that's all the Bondo that it's getting. And we'll get some seam seal in here to keep the water out and go from there. And side note, it's much more fun to run seam sealer when you're stacking dimes. I had to. It's not gonna stay like that. Don't leave it like that. But look at them dimes, dang. Okay, products used for the finish. The 3M undercoating was really nice, and Dynatron seam sealer worked pretty good. And then of course just Bondo, so. All right, for the inside, ta-da! We are undercoated. It's fresh and still shiny. You can still see the seam of our lower flange here. That's okay, it's gonna be behind the fender, but everything's seam sealed and undercoated, and that actually hides quite a bit. So, very happy with that. And for the inside, ta-da! There's not a whole lot of Bondo left on there. I've really just used a little bit to level off what I wanted smooth. The seam sealer along the edge there. Try to smooth that as best as I could. We may go over it before paint one more time, but everything is patched. And I have steel again.